The Zephyrian war fleet emerged from hyperspace like metallic thunder, their crystalline ships catching the light of Sul in prismatic displays that would have been beautiful under different circumstances. Fleet Commander Kex Thul observed the blue-green world through the command deck's viewing ports, mandibles clicking in satisfaction. Intelligence had been correct. This primitive world showed no signs of advanced orbital defenses. "Begin standard bombardment sequence," Kex Thul commanded, his 4 arms working the control interfaces with practiced efficiency. "Target population centers first. We'll harvest the survivors for the labor camps." The Zephyrians had conquered 47 worlds using this exact protocol. Overwhelming force, systematic destruction, subjugation. It had never failed. Earth would be number 48. But as the massive alien vessels descended through Earth's atmosphere, something unexpected happened. Nothing. No desperate radio transmissions begging for mercy. No chaotic evacuations. No military response whatsoever. The cities below continued their normal patterns as if a massive alien invasion fleet wasn't bearing down on them. "Curious," muttered Kex Thul. "Perhaps their detection systems are more primitive than we calculated." His weapons officer, Sub-Commander Veltar, hissed through his breathing apparatus. "Sir, I'm detecting some unusual readings from their orbital space. There appear to be objects moving." "Objects? I cannot identify them, Commander. They're too small to be warships. But there are thousands of them. They appear to be converging on our position." Kex Thul's eyes narrowed. Through the viewing port, he could see tiny glints of metal rising from Earth like a swarm of angry insects. As they drew closer, their nature became clear. Small, sleek vessels, each no larger than a Zephyrian escape pod. "Fighters?" Veltar suggested uncertainly. Before Kex Thul could respond, the human vessels opened fire. But these weren't energy weapons or plasma cannons like the Zephyrians expected. Instead, streams of metal projectiles, primitive kinetic rounds, began pelting the alien ships. The Zephyrians' energy shields, designed to deflect sophisticated beam weapons, were completely ineffective against simple mass and velocity. "Impossible!" Kex Thul roared as his flagship shuddered under the impact. "How are these primitive projectiles penetrating our defenses?" What the Zephyrians didn't understand was that humans had taken a different evolutionary path in warfare. While most species developed energy weapons and shield technology, humanity had perfected the art of throwing things really, really fast. The small human fighters, modified civilian spacecraft hastily armed with railguns, swarmed around the larger alien vessels like angry hornets. Each railgun round carried the kinetic energy of a small asteroid, and the humans fired them in devastating volleys. But the real surprise came when Kex Thul attempted to target the human fighters with his ship's main weapons. The targeting computers, calibrated for large capital ships and energy signatures, couldn't lock onto the small, fast-moving human craft. The fighters moved with an unpredictability that confounded Zephyrian tactical algorithms. "Sir!" Veltar's voice cracked with panic. "The humans are using some kind of chaos doctrine. Their flight patterns make no logical sense. Our computers can't predict their movements." Kex Thul watched in growing horror as his carefully ordered battle formation dissolved into chaos. The humans weren't following any recognizable tactical doctrine. They flew in wild, seemingly random patterns, using Earth's gravity well and atmospheric friction to slingshot around his ships. Some fighters flew in perfect formation, while others broke off to attack individually. Some used textbook military maneuvers while others seemed to be making it up as they went along. It was as if each human pilot was inventing their own personal war. "Commander!" The communications officer's voice was shrill with terror. "I'm intercepting human transmissions. They're enjoying this." Through the static, Kexthul could hear snippets of human chatter, like playing an old space sim game. "Got another one. Did you see that explosion? This is better than the movies. Hold my beer and watch this." The Zephyrians had encountered fierce resistance before, desperate last stands and noble sacrifices, but they had never encountered an enemy that treated warfare like entertainment. As his fleet continued to take devastating losses, Kexthul made a command decision that would haunt him for the rest of his life. "All ships, retreat to hyperspace. Immediate withdrawal." But the humans weren't finished. As the surviving Zephyrian ships began their emergency jump procedures, something impossible happened. Several human fighters followed them into hyperspace. "How?" Kexthul whispered, watching his sensors track the small human craft maintaining pace with his capital ships in the hyperspace tunnel. The answer came over the communication channels in accented English. "Because we duct-taped hyperspace engines to our fighters, alien boy." The human vessels continued their assault even in hyperspace, their improvised faster-than-light systems somehow holding together through sheer human stubbornness and what appeared to be liberal applications of industrial adhesive. When the Zephyrian fleet finally emerged in their home system, they had lost 60% of their ships to an enemy that had attacked them with modified civilian spacecraft and what the humans called aggressive improvisation. Kexthul's official report to the High Command was brief and to the point. "Recommend immediate reclassification of Sol system from easy conquest to avoid at all costs. Species displays unprecedented capacity for weaponizing civilian technology and treating warfare as recreational activity. Strategic value, negligible. Threat level, extreme." The report concluded with a personal note that would become legendary in Zephyrian military circles. "They turned their garbage trucks into warships. Their pizza delivery vehicles carry railguns. Their concept of overkill appears to be insufficient. Do not engage." Back on Earth, the victory celebrations were already turning into planning sessions for the next phase. After all, the humans had just figured out hyperspace travel. The galaxy would never be the same.